Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents G.I. Joe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the G.I. Joe Classified Series number 113, Mutt and Junkyard. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And as you guys can see, the package is empty. And no, I didn't get in a hurry and open things up. Somewhere along the way, I either did not record this segment, or I recorded it and lost it, deleted it, before I got it transferred over for editing. So I'm not exactly sure what happened, but that's why the package is empty. So here on the top, got the G.I. Joe star. He's number 113 or 113. A little bit of a window here to let light in from the top. On the front, nice big window showcasing, well, that would showcase the figure and the accessory if he was still in here. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Nice artwork of Mutt and Junkyard here. G.I. Joe Classified Series, G.I. Joe star, G.I. Joe, Mutt and Junkyard. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. Also, that stuff. On this side, there we have that nice artwork. Mutt and Junkyard again. G.I. Joe Classified Series, number 113. On the other side, G.I. Joe star, and, you know, some discolored or recolored, different colored of the same artwork on the other side. Number 113. Here is the scan code if you want to scan it, and it probably won't take you to a bio or stats or anything like that of the character. It'll probably take you to shop.hasbro.com, which I recently discovered. Somebody left a comment in one of my other Joe videos that said that, and I checked it out, and sure enough, that's what it was. But anyway, here's his skill set. G.I. Joe star, G.I. Joe Classified Series. Then on the back here, number 113, nice product shot of the figures in action. And then here we have a close-up of what I'm guessing is digital renders of certain items in the box. And there again is his skill set, G.I. Joe, Mutt and Junkyard. Parents, GIJoe.com. And then we have, attention, don't stick things in your French pie hole that do not belong there. Warning, attention, Achtung, don't think things in any other language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Small fine legalese made in China print, includes 2 figures and 16 accessories, and then whatever that is, probably the same as this, and Hasbro print. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging that's empty. Let's take a look at the figures and the accessories. And to start things off, we got handy dandy tweezers here, so we can start taking a look at this plethora of accessories. And here, first up, we have his knife. So I feel this is pretty standard. I think we have probably seen this knife before. And if I can pick it up, here's his sidearm. It's got a little bit of a paint up there across the top. Nice molded detail. Very realistic looking weapon. Then we have his main armament here. It's got a little paint app here. And nice molded details. Also, the magazine does come out. It's got a little bit of detail in there, but not anything you can really do anything with. So, but nice molded detail throughout. Next up, we have his baton. Pretty straightforward. A little bit of molded detail there on the handles and the pommel. And he has 2 sets of goggles. The smaller of the set actually fits on the figure's head, and we'll get to that toward the end of this section. And then the other set goes on the helmet for when he is not wearing them. And then here he has his filtration mask, which I'm guessing he uses when he goes to clean out the kennel. So, but nice molded detail, a few little paint apps on it, and nice little paint apps on the goggles as well for the lenses that I did forget to mention. Then he comes with 3 sets of hands, but they're all different. Here we have one that is a fist, and I'm assuming these are different because it's different commands for the dog, or petting the dog, or has to do with the dog. So it's nice little paint apps across here, nice molded detail, and that pretty much holds true for all of the alternate hands. It's on in and out hinge. And here's the second one. Could be, you know, a rifle cradling hand, Michael Jackson hee-hee hand, or to pet the dog, or to hold onto the dog's collar or harness. And again, in and out hinge. Here's a, I'm guessing, a go get 'em hand, again on in and out hinge. Paint apps on the back of the hands where the gloves are. Here's another one that is most likely to tell the dog to stop or to pet the dog. And I keep calling him Dog, but his name is Junkyard. In and out hinge on that one as well. And here's one, I guess this is the sit hand. And in and out hinge on that one as well. It looks like all the extra hands are in and out hinges, because this was in and out as well. And I'm guessing this is a maybe a be quiet command, or he's going to make shadow puppets. I'm not sure. So in and out hinge on that one as well. And then he also does have his helmet. Nice throwback to classic G.I. Joe styling on it. The little holes here in it, you know, goes back to maybe that clear clip-on visor that the 3 3/4 used to have. But one thing I will say about this is very malleable plastic, so it's really, really soft. And as far as Junkyard goes, he has an extra head sculpt that's happy, tongue lolling off to the side. Just happy puppy, ready for a treat. Now let's take a look at Junkyard first. And as you can see, he does have some nice paint apps, and this everything I pretty much said about the other head, or this head, will hold true for the other head, with the nice paint apps. Now this one does, you know, this is the more snarly, I'm fixing to get you sucker head sculpt on here, but nice paint apps all throughout, and those eyes. And then on the collar here, nice paint apps for those studs on there. And you can even see molded in there is a buckle, so you know, you can, it obviously doesn't work, it's too small in scale for that, but you know, it's nice that they molded it in there as detail. And then, you know, nice fading into the other colors all throughout. And then looks like the harness is molded in this color, and then this are paint apps, and again that's on the other side as well. And then just throughout, nice sculpt, nice, you know, kind of a short hair sculpt there, as opposed to Timber, who had long hair. Let's take a look at his articulation. He has a joint here where the neck and the body join together, and also here it's a dumbbell joint here in the neck for the head, and he can look up that far, and in conjunction he can look down that far, and he does have a little bit of kind of chicken neck, I guess you could say, and he's got waggle aplenty, and the head just popped off. But that's not an issue, because you can see now, you can see the dumbbell joint there. And the collar does come off, so you can remove that when you remove the head if you want to. But he can do the full exorcist at the head and at the base of the neck. It will also spin 360 degrees as well. Now, front legs, it stops right there. And I feel like if you try to make it go all the way around full 360 degrees, it will make the leg pop off, or either break. So I don't want to do that. So it can move forward that far and back about that far as I can force it, without making it feel like I'm forcing it too much. And at this top knee, that's a little bit tight. I thought I had loosened this thing up. I know I loosened up one of the back ones, but it can bend forward that far, and it is on a hinge and swivel, single hinge and swivel, so it will swivel around full 360 degrees, and then back it will go that far. And then at the ankle joint here, it will move back that far, or the upper ankle, I guess I should say, and it'll move forward that far. And then there's a lower ankle there at the foot, and it goes down that far, it tilts up that far, and it does have forward facing pin for rocker. Now for the rear legs, they will go full 360 degrees. And I almost forgot, he does have a cut right here in like the mid abdomen, and he can move forward on it that far and back on it that far, and it will rotate a full 360 degrees. So then back to the back hips. So the legs go all the way around. The knees don't really go forward any, and they will go back that far. At the upper ankle, it really doesn't go back further than that. That's as far as it goes forward. It goes that far. Then at the lower ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up hardly any, just slightly, and then it does have forward facing pin for rocker as well. Now one thing I did notice about mine, this knee right here on the swivel, I couldn't move it back, it was stuck. I did have to put it in some hot water, but then after that, and I broke it loose, I noticed that it is cracked right there, and I don't know if that's just mine or if that's everybody's, if that's why it was stuck, because I didn't notice that before. But it moves okay now, but that's going to be one of those things. I try not to move it too much if I can help it. But I just thought that I'd point that out in case somebody else came across that defect as well. So that's Junkyard. Let's take a look at Mutt. I have to say, he does have pretty good face sculpt there, with his 5 o'clock shadow going on, and angry, just looking weird. And then I don't know, he's got something shiny in his hair, where like maybe some stuff dripped in the factory. I don't know. but it's glossy and it catches the light in some places and sometimes it doesn't. So, but anyway, nice looking sculpt and paint job on this face. I mean, he just looks really and he's got a little bit of a scar, couple of scars over here, and so that's cool. And then he's got this little badge here, and you can see some hair on his chest there right under the shirt. So he's got a lot of hair on his arms as well. This guy could give Wolverine a run for his money. And then, so it's got some paint apps in here. Nice molded detail just throughout. The sheath for the knife here on the vest. Most of this looks like it's molded in color with a few paint apps, like on the boots here, on the knee pads, the pads here on the gloves. And you can notice he's wearing like an arm piece here. And I'm sure when you pop the hands off, this will just slide right off because it's loose. So you can have him wearing this for training or in the field or not. And then a little bit of a paint app right here and right here. Looks like he's got a mini fire extinguisher there, although I don't know why he has that. I don't know that he puts out fires, but that wouldn't put out much of a fire. Maybe that's a smoke grenade. That would make more sense, wouldn't it? Like tear gas or something. And of course he's got a holster here, a little bit of paint app on it. Let's take a look at his articulation. He can look up that far. He can look down that far. He's got some chicken neck. He's got some waggle. He can do the full exorcist at the shoulder, butterfly. And it bends back that far, goes forward that far, 360-degree rotation. And he can raise his arm that high, well past 90. Cut here at the upper bicep for a full 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged pinless, I almost said pinned for some reason, I don't know. But pinless elbow gives you that much bend. And I don't think having this off is going to make that much a difference, but let's go ahead and see. So maybe a little bit of a difference, but not much. I'm sure he's got a cut here under the vest, but I can't really get to it, so feels like it's in there. But it does have like a ball joint at the waist, so he's got all kinds of hula going on there. He can do a full 360. He can lean forward, not much. Leans back a little bit better. Lean to the left and the right a little bit. At the hips, he does have that standard G.I. Joe pull down hinge at the hip, and with that engaged, it does let him give you that much of the splits. He kicks forward a little less than 90 degrees, backwards about a half a step. Cut here at the upper thigh, full 360 degrees of rotation there. Double hinged pinless knee, and it's a little tight, and you can hear some detents going on in there. At least I can. You might not hear them over the mic, but it gives you that much bend. Then, and about the mid shin, maybe the lower mid shin, boot cut for another 360 degree rotation at the ankle. Tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. Now, as far as his storage goes, of course the hands don't really have any storage, but his knife, oops, wrong way, yeah, that looks better, goes right in the sheath, and his sidearm fits right in his leg holster, and then his baton and his main armament he just has to hold. And I forgot to mention 360 degrees at the wrist on up and down hinges for these trigger finger hands. So up and down on trigger finger hands is always good. So he can hold the main armament like that. As far as getting his mask on him, just pop the head off. And slide the mask on his head. And just pop the head back on. And you can kind of straighten it up like you like it. So he can wear that. I'm sure you could probably put it down if you wanted to, and he just wear it around his neck. And then as far as the goggles go, the smaller set, of course, is the one that fits on the head. And just kind of slide them on there. Try to get them into proper position the best you can. So that looks a little bit crooked to me, but there. Wear it on there. The helmet fits on his head pretty well. It's not really like Dusty's where it's a lot bigger and you put the extra goggles on the outside or on the inside backwards, so it helps stabilize the helmet. And then you just slide the other set of goggles on there. So he's all set there. And then I really wish they had a ring or something for him to put the baton so that he could carry it with him and also be able to hold on to Junkyard. But that's not how they decided to do it. So there we have Mutt. There we have Junkyard. And that, my friends, is a look at the figures and their accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the G.I. Joe Classified series, Junkyard and Mutt. With the G.I. Joe Classified series, Alpha Commandos 2-pack of Timber and Snake Eyes. Here we have the G.I. Joe Classified series, Junkyard and Mutt, with the Valaverse Action Force Swarm Trooper with Swarm Gear, and the Valaverse Action Force Scarab. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the G.I. Joe Classified series, Junkyard and Mutt, with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From the G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified series, Junkyard and Mutt, I have to say I really like the way this pair goes together. I think it has the right accessories, especially the mask and the glasses, something we never would have, really thought about a canine needing back in the 80s, at least as kids. But I guess you got to have some protection when you're going to clean out the kennel, because I'm sure with the G.I. Joe team around, there's no telling what this dog gets to eat. I'm sure there's some jokers like Chuckles who comes by and maybe feeds him a can of chili. So you definitely would need that mask to clean the kennel out. But as far as the figures go, again, I think I like the way they pair together. I like the accessories. Mutt out arm hairs any Marvel Legends Wolverine to date. And I don't know, I think that's kind of funny. But that's just me. But I like this set. the Joe team is continuing that really great articulation scheme for the animals, for the Joes that come with animals. And I even see that with the recent announcement of the Zabu Build-A-Figure in the Marvel Legends line, that, you know, that team is starting to adopt some of, you know, the articulation scheme, the sculpting, stuff like that from the Joe team. And I think that's all for the better. But, you know, alternate head, you know, he's got this growly head for Junkyard, and then you got, like, with the tongue lolling, and he's Happy Puppy. And I think that's really good. You know, he's got this main armament, Mutt does, and then he's got this billy club or baton, whatever you like to call it, plus his sidearm. And then, you know, he's got goggles for on the helmet when he's not wearing them, and then goggles for the eyes and the mask and a knife. So I think this is a really good duo. I think this is a really good addition to the Classified series. And honestly, other than Law and Order, I can't think of any, you know, pet teams or animal teams right offhand that would have something like this. Maybe Raptor. Didn't he come with a bird? So maybe we get something like Spirit. His bird, which the name eludes me at this time. But Spirit, Iron Knife, and his companion animal. So maybe Raptor also comes with an animal. I'm not sure, but, you know, that's for the future to tell. And again, I really like this set, and I'm glad they made it. And I'm glad that they did Mutt and Junkyard before they did Law and Order, because I'm much more familiar, I guess, with this, because I had, you know, Mutt and Junkyard in the original Real American Hero line, and I did not have Law and Order. So again, I think this is, you know, great sculpt on Junkyard and very nice articulation. Only issue is with that one rear knee. I'm not sure what exactly is going on with that. If it was stuck or if it's just the material wearing down. And I hope that's not the case, but knees in this line are sometimes an issue. So are hips sometimes. Elbows, wrists. So, you know, it's just a matter of quality control, I guess, and it's not where it needs to be. But everything else on these guys was fine. Most of my other recent Joe acquisitions have been fine. Some might have needed a little bit of hot water soaking, break them loose, and that's it. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future, you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.